Okay, sixth grade. So before we left, we were working on our 1 point perspective room drawing. So remember, the objective is you're introduced to 1 point perspective and you'll create a room design in 1 point perspective. Some of you have already been introduced to 1 point perspective if you've been with me since like fourth grade and third grade. We did some things in 1 point perspective. Now this is a room, it's closer up. Remember, we did the value shading techniques because you do need to pick one of them to do for your room. And those are the examples. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so just as a refresher, remember we had to write 4 things down. You can't see it. We had to draw the shape of the object that's closest to you. So that would be this green shape. That's the part of the bed. This is a hanging bed that's closest to us. This part, we wouldn't draw that part or the top of the bed. We would draw this rectangular shape. 2, connect the corners to the vanishing point. These are all terms you need to know. Vanishing point, shape, vertical, horizontal, and orthogonal lines. So connect the corners to the vanishing point using a ruler, not just freehanding it. And 3, close off the object with vertical, that would be this red line, and horizontal lines. And step number 4 would be to erase orthogonal lines and or lines you no longer need, like lines inside the object. So we would erase that line and this line, and then we wouldn't want to see the wall, so we'd erase those lines. So first things first, if you don't have a ruler, that's okay. I'm going to use a piece of paper. I got another color so that you could see the difference, and I just folded it in half. And I'm going to need to get a longer one because look, it doesn't fit to this corner. Okay, I'm sorry about the noise. It's raining in my little studio, but I had to go get another piece of paper. Okay, the first things first, you want to connect the corners. So I didn't have a ruler that was long enough, so I'm going to just use these 2 papers. It'd be easier if you could tape them together, but if you don't, like me, I don't feel like getting back up, then you just line them up. You might have to have somebody help you, but this is a very important step. I'm going to switch over to a pencil. And remember, draw lightly. Now I'm going to draw a little harder so that you can actually see on the camera. That's our first step. Next step, we're going to connect the other one. So I'm going to line that up, line this up. You could also use something like a hanger. So I'm going to use a hanger. This one. Really make sure that you line both corners up before you start drawing, because this is a very important step. If this step is wrong, every other step is going to go off. Alright, now we're going to start at the very top, and we're going to make a line that is horizontal, going from left to right. We really want to make sure this lines up, and I'm going to go ahead and mark where that is, since I don't have a ruler. Now I'm going to take this down, and I'm going to make sure it starts here, and then it ends on that dash mark that I made, that little tick mark. And once it's horizontal, then I'll draw another line. Remember, you can pause this until you catch up. Okay, now I'm going to close this off with a vertical line, straight up and down, and I'm done. Now this center point, that is where our vanishing point is. Remember, our vanishing point is on the horizon line. We don't have a horizon line, but if we were to draw like a window back here, and that would be the ground outside. Okay, now you don't need this line, so you're going to take your eraser. You're going to erase, but keep your vanishing point because you're going to need that for the whole entire thing. That's the very last thing we're going to erase on our 1-point perspective drawing. Okay, now we've got our shell of a room. We've got our back wall, side walls, ceiling, and floor. First things first, we're going to add a bed. Now, you guys are going to get to create a room in probably 7th grade, so I'm kind of just preparing you for that. You're going to need to make a right angle with the wall. So what I want you to do is I want you to draw this with me. If you want to try to draw one on this side of the room or in the middle, you can do that, especially if you remember where you were at before. But I'm going to erase this mark so it doesn't confuse you guys. I'm going to make a right angle with this wall, so I'm going to draw, remember, the shape that's closest to us. So I think my bed is going to be not necessarily all the way to the middle, but kind of close to the middle. And then I'm thinking about how tall I want my bed to be. I kind of want it to be a little tall, and I've made my right angle. Now I'm going to go and finish off making that shape, making sure my lines are perfectly vertical and horizontal. I know we looked at Vincent van Gogh's bedroom drawing, and his drawing didn't really look like it was all the way in one point perspective, so if you fall, if you kind of make a mistake, it's okay. Step number 2, I'm going to get my sticky note back out. Connect the corners to the vanishing point. So this corner, I'm going to line this up with my vanishing point. Once those two meet, draw a line. If you are using a paper like I am, you really want to make sure your pencil is going straight up and down, especially if you're heavy-handed, because it will go under the paper and then your line won't be straight. Corner, vanishing point, make sure your pencil is straight up and down, and draw a line. Corner, vanishing point, draw a line. Alright, step number 3, close off the object with vertical and horizontal lines. Where am I going to make my vertical line? Right here, where this line intersects this back wall. That is the point where I know I need to make a vertical line, so line going straight up and down. Then I need to make my horizontal line. And notice how I didn't go all the way up to the ceiling. I stopped at this other line. Okay. Remember, if you need to pause, do so. Now I'm going to make a horizontal line. It's a little bit off, probably because I'm not using a ruler. But there we go. That's my horizontal line. Step number 4, erase orthogonal lines or lines you no longer need. I need to switch my eraser. So I'm going to erase these lines I don't need. I still want to keep my vanishing point, a little dot in the middle of the background, or the back wall. I would not see the floor, so I'm going to erase that. I would not see this back wall, so I'm going to erase that. And I would not see this little portion of the back wall. Now I know this looks like a cube, but we're going to make a headboard. So back here, I'm going to start at the top of the bed, and I'm going to make a vertical line. I think I'm going to go up maybe a little higher than the vanishing point, and then I'm going to make a horizontal line to the wall. That is my headboard. You can decorate it however you want. I think I'm going to put little what is this, like a tuft bed, little buttons. We'll figure out how we want to color that later. So far we've got our bed today, and then you're going to need to add a door. Where do I want my door? I think I'm going to put my door right over here. So I'm going to start on the ground, not just anywhere, start on the ground, put my pencil there. I think I'm going to have a kind of a wide door. And I'm going to draw a vertical line. I don't know. Remember, we want to draw the shape of the object that's closest to us. So we're going to start farther back here because this is part of the door that's closest to us. We're going to draw up. We want to make sure it goes past the vanishing point. Kind of, a door almost reaches the ceiling. So we're going to go up. Alright, step number 2, connect the corner to the vanishing point. So I'm going to take that line, very top of it, line it up with my vanishing point, and I'm going to draw a line all the way to my vanishing point. Remember, you want to draw very lightly. Okay, step number 3, close off the object with vertical and horizontal lines. Well, we don't need a horizontal line, but we do need a vertical line. Remember, I wanted my door to be kind of large, so I'm going to start here and draw my vertical line up to that orthogonal line. Step number 4, erase orthogonal lines or lines you no longer need, like lines inside the object. Well, there's no lines inside the object, but we do want to erase this orthogonal line. And now we've got our door. If you want to jazz it up a little bit, you can add a border. So I'm going to go here, go a little higher, connect that to the vanishing point. Everything goes to the vanishing point. I'm going to actually stop. I'm not going to go all the way because I don't feel like erasing this. And then close this off with another vertical line. That is like a border around your door. You can add a doorknob. You don't want your doorknob to be down here. I'd always recommend using the vanishing point. Alright, and we want to add 3 objects for today. So we've got our bed, we've got a door, and how about a window? Or TV. You know what? I think I'm going to add a window back here, and if I add a window on the very back wall, guess what? It's just going to be a rectangle. This could be a poster, this could be a window, whatever you want it to be, but you just want to draw like a rectangle shape. I think I want to add a border, kind of like my window. My door. It jazzes it up, it makes it look a little bit more expensive with the crown molding. And remember, this is your dream room. So that could be a window or a TV or a poster, whatever you want. And that is all for today. Remember to go through, pause when you're connecting the corners. Make sure it goes exactly to the corner, not off a little bit. And use whatever you have around the house to help you. Have fun!